So someone has just asked you for a leadership program, or they've asked you for a team building, and all they know is that it needs to be short, it needs to be fun, and you'd like to get a little bit more information so you actually create something that's relevant for them. What questions do you ask in order to get that information? Hang with me and I'll share a few that have always worked for me. So welcome everyone. Thanks for tuning in. As you can see, I'm doing this again from a hotel room. Didn't want to miss the opportunity though for us to chat. This week, we're talking about how you get good information so that you create the kind of interventions that move the needle. Frequently, your client, internal or external, will come with a vague idea of what they want. They want a team building. They want a leadership development. And somehow that is supposed to communicate, but as you know, you can go a lot of different directions, and sometimes the very intervention you pull together doesn't fix the problem that they have. So you need to figure out what the problems are and the results they hope to achieve. My mentor, one of my mentors, a very key person named George, actually shared with me the 4 questions he always asks. He shared this with me years ago, and I've used them. I've also added 1 or 2 that I like to get some final information for. But George's 4 questions were, what is not happening right now in your operation? What's not happening that should be happening? Question number 2, what is happening right now that should not be happening? Question number 3, what do you want to see more of? Question number 4, what do you want to see less of? Now, the beauty of these 4 questions is they're simple. They ask in a lot of different ways. They're kind of getting at the same thing, but looking at it from different angles. But it points you to both the results that people either don't want to see, the problems. It points you to the things that they do want. It also points to behaviors that are problematic and behaviors that they'd like to see. This helps focus the client. It helps you get good information. It also helps you set key objectives by which you or your program and ultimately your success and how willing they are to come after you in the future, how you're judged. So ask those 4 questions. The additional questions that I now ask, there's one in particular that's kind of in this same vein, which is when we're done. And after I put together the perfect team building for your folks, so it was absolutely everything you wanted, what are they going to be doing differently? What results will you see when you walk back into the workplace, into the office next week, next month, next year? The last question I ask now just gets down to simple logistics. So what are your logistical requirements for a successful event? That is time, length, location, and so forth. So anyway, those are the questions. Build those into your repertoire. Just by asking them and getting good information, you'll be creating greater programs. Thanks for tuning in, everyone. I hope you enjoyed today's video. Please do subscribe. Please share these with your friends. I appreciate it very much. I do want to take this moment. I mentioned George. I didn't mention his last name because George is kind of Ron Swanson-esque, if you know Parks and Rec, in his desire to stay off the grid and not attract attention to himself. And yet he is one of the smartest people I've ever met and a truly caring man. So George, you know who you are, and others who've been touched by you know this as well. So take this shout out from someone who admires you very much.